Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Today is September the 26th of 2020. All right, Harry and Meghan could have broken the law and went too far this time. And for those who may not know, the gentleman on the left is our sitting U.S. President, Donald J. Trump. Disclaimer. The full disclaimer can be found in the description box below. I hope you'll subscribe, comment, and let me know what's on your mind. All right. So I want to talk about something that two viewers and I were discussing online, and it is that Harry might be breaking some laws now, the Foreign Agents Registration Act, because he is not a U.S. citizen and he's dabbling in U.S. politics and talking to people about voting and so forth. But I want to give a shout out to Lana W and Andy, and her handle is AOLD. So shout out to those two lovely ladies, and just say thank you for your comments and for bringing this up as a topic. Also, Andy had said that Harry's company Travelist could have be a hoax or for lobbying, under the guise of climate change and his business there. I'm not sure, but sounds like it could be a possibility. All right, so on to this. The FARA, Foreign Agents Registration Act, was enacted in 1938. FARA requires certain agents of foreign principals who are engaged in political activities or other activities specified under the statute to make periodic public disclosure of their relationship with the foreign principal, as well as activities, receipts, and disbursements in support of those activities. Disclosure of the required information facilitates evaluation by the government and the American people of the activities of such persons in light of their function as foreign agents. The FARA unit of the Counterintelligence and Export Control Section in the National Security Division is responsible for administration and enforcement of FARA. These are some examples of some lawsuits that were filed and where people were charged. And some of these have to do with getting involved with politics. Like, according to one agreement, there was a group of attorneys who were acting as an agent for the government of Ukraine by contributing to a public relations campaign directed at select members of the U.S. news media in 2012 in response to inquiries from FARA unit about its role in the campaign. A partner at the law firm made false and misleading statements to the unit, which then led the FARA unit to conclude in 2013 that the firm was not obliged to register. The facts, when uncovered, show that Skaden, the attorney, was required to register in 2012. The firm registered, admitted it made false, misleading statements in response to inquiries from the FARA unit and disgorged over $4.6 million in fees and agreed to ensure it as a formal, robust procedures for responding to inquiries. All right, and the bottom part is a lady who was a Russian national was charged by criminal complaint in the Eastern District of Virginia for her alleged role in Russian conspiracy to interfere with the U.S. political system, including the 2018. She had conspired to defraud the United States by impairing, obstructing, and defeating the lawful functions of the U.S. Department of Justice. Then also, Paul J. Manafort Jr. pleaded guilty to the District of Columbia to 2 counts to commit multiple offenses, including violating them by failing to register and providing false statements in a document filed with them. There's other ones, like in 2018, Richard Gates pleaded guilty in the District of Columbia, 2 counts, conspiracy to commit multiple offenses, including violating FARA by failing to register and by providing false statements. And that was on behalf of the government of Ukraine. Then there was also a grand jury in the District of Columbia that returned an 8-count indictment of 13 Russian nationals and 3 Russian companies and the Internet Research Agency, LLC. Sorry, that was One of my kids going out, my Ring doorbell. Let's see. Okay, what else did they do? One charge the defendants with, among other things, conspiracy to defraud the United States by impairing, obstructing, and defeating the lawful functions of the U.S. DOJ, or Department of Justice. So I don't know if this is possibly something that Harry could get in trouble about. He is not a U.S. citizen, and he is from another country. And by him going and getting directly involved with politics, whether he can vote or not, he's speaking out on them, and he and Meghan are encouraging people in their not so subtle way of who we should vote for, and that this election is important. All elections are important. All right, so let's go on to Time Magazine, and it says, it is still significant when royals get political. However, because the Queen's impartial relationship to party politics, you've got to be very careful in terms of how anything reflects on the Queen, explains CNN Royals commentator Victoria Arbiter to Time Magazine. She's a politically neutral head of state, and the family is very careful in terms of where they go because they can't cause her any embarrassment. Yeah, except Harry. Harry and Meghan have caused her tons of embarrassment. This need for caution has been in place ever since the United Kingdom became a constitutional monarchy and reduced royal political powers in 1688. The reigning monarch is still technically responsible for a whole list of tasks, from appointing prime ministers to summoning and dissolving parliament, and still holds the power to declare war and make peace. Here we go. That doesn't mean other royals don't dabble, however, as they are within their rights to do. The royals have long gone as close as they possibly can, says Arbiter, but they limit it to humanitarian side instead of the political side. This means steering clear of taking a firm stance on a party issue. As for the Duchess of Sussex, now remember this was written a while back before she got involved in politics. It's not as if Markle appears to be inserting herself where it's something not appropriate for her to comment on, says author Leslie Carroll, who writes books on royal history and intrigue. The fact is, she's an outspoken advocate for women's issues, and she's always been, and that's not surprising. Markle has publicly declared herself a feminist and supported menstrual products for girls in India. She also made headlines as the Duchess of Sussex when she seemingly got drawn into the Irish abortion debate when they were over there. And I believe she may have been with the Queen then. And they were asking her questions, and she was told she should not comment one way or the other. And she opened her mouth and told exactly what she felt and went against what the people there, what their tradition and their religious belief was. Her general work for women, it seems, has the stamp of approval for the Queen herself. Markle was recently made patron of SmartWorks. That's all we need to know on that. All eyes may be on Markle as she takes the stage this International Women's Day, but her support of women is actually nothing new or all that political for the crown. It's a fine line, but one she's transversed well so far, and one that she'll be very prepared for come Friday whenever she was going to speak. Remember when she got up on stage and one of the ladies on the panel asked her if she read her Twitter feed, and she said, no, I don't look at Twitter, but I do read The Economist. She was acting so weird that day. She had this strange baby bump. She was really cradling it that day. And then you could tell she was both-faced lying. And the lady beside her, seated on our left, her right, you could tell she looked at her like, lady, you are lying. I know that you're big into social media, and you can't tell me that you don't follow that. But she did. Meghan Markle defied the royal family's ban on talking about politics with a powerful statement on why she's voting in the U.S. election. Okay, and this was something, there was like something going out, fake news, that he had called her nasty, but he denied calling her that. It was an audio recording, and what had really happened was, when informed by the interviewer that during his presidential campaign, Margaret Markle said that she would move to Canada if he was elected. And so Trump can be heard responding, "Wow, I didn't know she was nasty." That's all he said about her. And then, of course, Markle is on maternity leave and reportedly be absent at the meeting when Trump visited the palace. The Duchess was critical of Trump during a 2016 appearance on The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, calling him divisive and misogynistic. It's really the moment I go, we film Suits in Toronto, and I might just stay in Canada, Markle said. Yes, of course, Trump is divisive. Think about female voters alone, right? I think it was 2012 that the Republican Party lost the female vote by 12 points. That's a huge number, and with his misogynistic as Trump is, and so vocal about it, that's a huge chunk. Oh. Now, Newsweek wrote in 2017, and this is by Josh Lowe, can Queen Elizabeth II and the royal family vote in the British election? I know this is, a debate that's been going around now, so I thought let's just go ahead and go through and get it all cleared up. But for one high-profile family, the conversation around politics has to be much more muted, in public at least. Britain's royal family is expected to remain politically neutral. Oops. So, still, can the Queen vote in the election? What about other royals? And has the Queen ever broken with protocol and got involved in politics? Well, Newsweek says there's nothing wrong there's nothing in writing British law barring the current monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, from voting in an election, but, as the Brits might say, it's just not done. Although not prohibited by law, the UK Parliament website says it is considered unconstitutional for the monarch to vote in an election. She has to work and have counsel and give counsel to every prime minister that comes in. So it would be awkward if she voted or if she voiced her political views for that reason alone. The rules governing royals beyond the Queen are less firm, but a Buckingham Palace spokesperson tells Newsweek that by convention, members of the royal family close to the Queen do not exercise their right to vote. The spokesperson would not confirm how many royals that covers, but said it would include senior members of the royal family such as Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, and Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge. And just like that, the Queen, senior royals are expected to stay politically neutral in public, though the media often tries to tease out their views. Now, this was something that was written a while back too, and I believe this was Newsweek, it'll say in a moment, but it's by Sean Lang, and it was written in 2016. The Queen's 90th birthday, 5 ways to keep the royal family relevant. So they're saying this would sustain the monarchy. Number 1, give heir a proper role. Have those that are the heir in line to the throne. Give them plenty of work to keep them busy, and then people like Harry won't have idle time on his hands where he needs to go talk about U.S. politics. Avoid scandal at all costs. Well, God bless the Queen, because she's had to go through it with Princess Diana, Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew, and now Harry and Meghan. Keep avoiding party politics. Just stay away from politics. Give them a wider range of jobs. Give the different family members different jobs, so they're kind of covering the entire Commonwealth and all representing the crown. Let the monarchy hold the kingdom together. The UK is a kingdom, and if we do believe in holding it together, then the monarchy has a crucial role to play. All right, and the Queen was told to renounce her royal title immediately as writing on the wall over the monarchy's demise. This was written last night, and it says, Queen Elizabeth has been told that the writing's on the wall for the monarchy and that all members of the royal family should renounce their titles. I don't see that happening. The Express then says, Meghan Markle and Harry warned over appalling royal loophole in Frogmore Cottage payment. So, guys, this is, I want you all to be aware of this. So they've been warned by the CEO of a Republic that using a royal loophole to get back the £2.4 million they repaid for Frogmore Cottage refurbishments would be appalling. So this was written on Saturday the 19th by Savar Nanan Sin. regarding Harry and Meghan using a royal loophole to claim back the money they paid to the sovereign grant to cover the cost of the refurbishment of the building. Mr. Smith said, "I think that would go down very badly with the general public." Yes, it would. They may argue that the Crown Estate is getting the house back and they ought to pay for the refurbishment, but that refurbishment was done for Meghan and Harry to their specifications, and they've got the money to pay for it. So we know they were supposedly back in April said they're going to pay back, I don't remember if it was 17, 18,000 a month, but we only heard of that one payment. And then all of a sudden we hear that they've paid back the 2.4 million pounds, which, unless the palace says it, I don't think I'll believe it. Says, but as it has not been doing that, it has been providing a home for Harry and Meghan. He added, it would be pretty appalling if they turned around and say they don't want to use it. Therefore, we can have our money back. So what happens is, and I did further research, that it is a historical monument. It's part of the royal family. It's owned by the people. And they're saying that if they say we're not going to live here, that that loophole means they would have to pay it back. But they could probably already use what's been paid to pay it off, if they in fact did, as a tax deduction or write-off or a partial write-off. But if they did that, boy, would we all really be mad. That would make us sick, because we know the only reason she paid it off, or that it was said that she paid it off, her and Harry, was because as soon as they got the Netflix deal, they were told they needed to kind of clean up their act and resolve a few things because they had a lot of blemishes on their reputation. So thank you all for watching. I thought this was some interesting information. Thanks again to Lana and Andy, and I appreciate your comments. Please keep them coming. I enjoy them so much. If I don't respond back to each one, if I get too many, I'll just start clicking on it, but I'll let you know that I've at least seen it and read it. And if I can, I'll try to answer everyone back. Everyone have fun this weekend. Have a, do something that's gives you your soul some peace, and that brings some laughter, and, just do something that is going to make you happy. We've got to find happiness during this time, because it has been such a long time since lockdown, and we've all given up so much, sacrificed so much. If you can't see someone, call someone, talk to them, cheer them up, let them give you a laugh, and let's all be nice to one another online. And I'm not talking about like Meghan and them. I'm just saying, for any sugars that happen to come on, if you don't agree with us, just respect and agree to disagree, because we'll respect you. All right. Thank you again, guys. Take care. And this is Moon out, and lots of love and blessings.